Time to stop drinking the Kool-Aid when it comes to the Miami Heat and the Miami Dolphins. Went into the season, Heat didn't really do anything drastically different, but we clung to the hope that Jimmy's in a contract year. He's going to play hard. Khalil Ware, Pella Larson, they're rookies, but they're going to be super great. Jaime Jaquez Jr. going to get better. Even though there weren't a lot of changes, just everyone's going to be better and we're going to be a better team. And the team did pretty much what we expected them to do, except for now. They're really losing. They're bad. Dolphins, they're not doing anything. They're bringing back Quentin Bell. They're bringing back Liam Eichenberg. They added a new running back, Alexander Madison. Ooh. But basically, brought back Chris Greer, brought back Mike McDaniel. They're going to bring back exactly what they gave you last year, which is right around the middle of the pack. Can't beat a team in the cold weather and not winning a playoff game. How am I to believe? If you're Chris Greer, I want to know why I am to believe that this team that's coming up this year, now the draft is still, you got 10 picks in this upcoming draft. The draft is still about a month away, a little over a month away. If you're Chris Greer, the only way you could possibly persuade me to think this Dolphins team is going to be more successful than they've been over the past 3 or 4 years is if you say we're going to draft really good. Other than that, I can't buy into this Dolphins team that's coming up being any better than they were last year. And you got Zach Wilson as backup quarterback. I'm glad you're a Jets fan. You know how that goes. No internal clock.
I can't wait for the Boynton Beach baddies to come out. All the, Century Village mommies to come out. Because he's gonna have the 40-year-olds, the 35-year-olds and up. He's gonna have them going crazy. He's straight out of Central Casting.
Just can't believe.
And he's gonna play. He's gonna he's going to play in a game. He might start a couple of games too.
Well, that's pinning your hopes that Mike McDaniel can turn around his career. He is a number 2 overall pick. So maybe he could unlock the potential like he's kind of unlocked Tua Tagovailoa. But this team is not going to be just like this Heat team. Well, at the beginning of the season, not drastically different from last year's team and the year before. That was a play-in team. This year, well, lo and behold, they're exactly where we thought they were going to be. At the beginning of the season, we asked, why should we believe in this team? How are they going to be better? Because on paper, they're pretty much the same team. They're probably going to do the same thing they've done the past 2 years. Outside of a wild Jimmy Butler run in the playoffs and Giannis Antetokounmpo getting hurt in the first round, that people forget that. But this Dolphins team, I don't see it any different. Vlad, am I to believe that this Dolphins team can be anything different than they've been the past 2 years? Unless there's a big draft. And
no.
Unless they hit on some big-time draft picks.
No.
There's nothing.
Y'all stuck in mediocrity.
Right now, I wish we were stuck in mediocrity.
No, you're stuck in mediocrity.
Heat are just awful.
Oh, you talking about? No. Hey, listen.
Both teams. No, this is change anything. Why do we expect them to do anything different?
If it wasn't for the Florida Panthers, this is like I've never seen a drastic fall like this in a market or a city and their sports teams. 2 years ago, you couldn't tell South Florida anything. They had teams in the Final Fours. They had teams in the Stanley Cup Final. They had a team in the NBA Final. They had teams in the NFL playoffs. They had even a team in the MLB playoffs. Made the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Every sports market, they had a corner. Then they signed Messi, and then Messi got you a title. South Florida was title town. And then before you can say sports day, bang, Jimmy gone, bang.
Coach Larinaga gone.
Bang. Tyreek just had a dismal season. Bang. Tua
Injured.
Hurt. Bang. Bradley Chubb doesn't even show up. Doesn't even play a season. Just nasty work. Bang. Jimmy and Pat fighting. Bang. 6-game losing streak now?
Yep. Hits just keep coming.
This is it's nasty work, man.
But I'm not doing it.
I haven't seen a downfall like that. Maybe the only time the last time I seen a drastic downfall like this was maybe Darrell Revis.
Revis Island.
Well, yeah. I just saw one. I was like, ooh, you let Mark Goodson just blow by you? Yeah. And then the next season, he was just like everybody was blowing by him. But as a market, this has been grand opening, grand closing.
My thing is this. I just cannot. I've fallen for it so many times, and we do as fans, that it's going to be different this year. If I'm to believe that things are going to be different this year for the Heat or next year for the Dolphins, I need to see something that would catalyze difference. The Dolphins are basically the same team they were last year. Oh, we're going to compete Super Bowl or bust. Stephen Ross, what did you mean when you did this before the game was pretty much even over against the Jets, before the season was done, had a press release ready to go saying we're bringing back Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel? As fans, what are we to believe? Oh, things are going to be real different next year. Basically bringing everybody back. The only additions you're really going to have, because of the free agency additions, I'm sorry. I mean, you know, I hope Alexander Madison has a great year. I hope that, who do we get? Pharaoh Brown from Seattle. I hope he has a great year. But like, really? That's going to be our difference makers? Tua's going to be healthy. We hear that every year, right, Vlad? Tua's going to be healthy.
See, y'all funny to me because when he did play one season, oh, he's healthy, and I was like, oh, okay, he showed that he could do it. Oh, okay, there's a first time for everything. Look, y'all stuck. You're stuck in mediocrity.
I'm just not playing the game until they show me a reason to believe that they're going to be anything different. I'm not going to go in there and be like, the Dolphins this year are going to be contenders in the AFC. And
it sucks. You know what sucks? You know what it
Toronto
sucks as a fan?
Even wants back in.
He wants back in?
Yeah.
They don't want him back.
They don't want him back. I'm surprised. The Dolphins seem to run it back with everybody else.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Why wouldn't Teron Armstead want to come back, play 10 games, and make some money? Well, he's not making a lot anymore now. He's on the veteran minimum. But why not? I mean, you got the guys running the locker room, doing what they want to do. Play 10 games.
You sound upset with your teams today.
I'm upset because they're not trying to be different, or maybe they're not capable of being any different or better.
Dan, you were told this and shown this on many different times, that you were told that your team this is what the team is doing, but you wanted to drink the Kool-Aid. Now you got a sugar rush and you feeling bad. You got a nasty tummy ache right now.
Last night was just nasty.
Right, you have a nasty tummy ache. And you're realizing that the teams that you love, or the adopted teams that you love, because you are from the NO, they're just not good right now. They're not. I mean, they are not. And it's shocking, because at least on the basketball side, it's more shocking because you never expect this from that organization. The way they run, the reputation that they have, it's a very good reputation. As being one of the best run organizations in sports.
This year it's been a dumpster fire. Pat Riley, Jimmy Butler get into it. Jimmy Butler sits. They have to trade him. What they get in return?
Nastiness, and it was public.
Spo's been
nastiness, and it was public. Now, so
that's score a point in the fourth quarter.
So that's on that end. The Dolphins end is weird because literally, you're looking at the same thing over and over again.
Ridiculous. You
draft players, develop players, they get good, but when it's time for you to sign them, you don't. But you'll sign other people's broke free agencies. You know what I'm saying? You'll listen. We all knew Teron Armstead had injury concerns the minute you signed him.
Mm-hmm.
But you signed him anyway.
When he played, he was great.
And when he played, he was very good.
I mean, the whole thing of we let our guys get away, some of them, we couldn't have paid them anyway. Some of them have gone on to be pretty broke at other places too. So I understand that. People are real quiet about the Christian Wilkins when they got mad at me.
But you don't do that.
I said, let's see what happens with him with the Raiders. Broke.
But you'll sign or make a trade for somebody else. Bradley Chubb. Okay. Chubb played 3 games, and now what? He's broke down. Okay. So yeah, the decision making and you got to start questioning the decision makers. That's what it is. When you got to the point where you're like, all right, we question the decision makers. I think the fan base and the media have questioned Chris Greer for over a year, maybe 2 years now. So then you question Boss Ross. What's going on here? Does this guy have pictures of you? Does he have info that you just cannot have public? That's why he still has a job? Is it?
I mean, look, this is what I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to be from the show me state from now on, because until the Dolphins do something different, I'm not going to go in believing that things are going to be different. Dolphins are literally, not literally, but almost literally the exact same team they were last year.
And they're going to continue being that.
And they're going to
put yourself in that position.
They're going to go into cold weather games, lose. They're going to maybe make the playoffs, maybe not make the playoffs, lose. It's like, oh no, you'll see. We got stability. Because we got Chris Greer back and Mike McDaniel back and all the players back, and Tua is going to be healthy, right? Because we've been told that every year. The Heat this year, you'll see. We'll figure it out. They're as far from figuring things out as possible right now. 14 points in the fourth quarter. It was, we were joking about it a couple times because you thought, oh, an 8-point fourth quarter, 9-point fourth quarter, a couple 20-point fourth quarters. We were like, man, they're really bad. No, they're really, 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 really bad. No, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not believing in the Heat making a run in the postseason. I'm not even believing the Dolphins are going to be anything different next year. I'm open to suggestions. 305-567-0560. You can also jump on the YouTube and Twitch and tell me why I should believe the Heat or the Dolphins will do something different the rest of this year or next season, unless they make drastic change. How are they going to get better? They can get worse, but how are they going to get better without some type of drastic change?
Now, what's the drastic change?
The draft. That's what Chris Greer is going to say. You'll see. We're going to hit on all 10 draft picks.
But do you understand that in this year, you have to draft, and you have to draft players that have to make immediate impact?
You have to draft 10 guys that make immediate impact on the team.
Not even 10.
4.
3. 2 or 3's got to make immediate impact. Like 2 might have to be a starter, and 1 is definitely going to be a guy who's getting a lot of snaps.
And you can definitely trust in Chris Greer, who's drafted the likes of Cam Smith.
Like the cornerbacks that you guys were drafted, like David first. Oh, he's in somebody's doghouse. Well, what happened? He didn't play with what was the guy's name? What was the DC? Anthony
Vic Fangio?
No.
Oh, Anthony Weaver?
Anthony Weaver. Right. There was one cornerback. Oh, he was in Vic Fangio's doghouse.
That was Cam Smith.
And then what happened this following year?
Couldn't find the field.
So is it Fangs? Because it sure looks like it ain't Fangs
got
to me.
A lot hung on him, and we let him off the hook. Remember, we said, hold up now, before you do all this, let's not be too hard on Fangs. And everybody, oh no, what are you guys? He's sitting there eating tapioca pudding. He's just an old man. The game's passing by. Those people get real quiet.
But yeah, like you don't hear nothing anymore about that, right? Oh, Fangs. Oh, we didn't listen to him. Yeah, maybe you should have.
Javon Holland's career just got paid by the Giants. Why? Largely on the year that he played under Vic Fangio.
So, yeah, you guys. So Greer has this tendency of buying players or signing players with injury history, and then not signing the players that he's drafted and developed, and who's developed and become some of the best players at their position in the NFL. Nah, we don't sign them. We let them go prosper and shine, shine in other teams. So, yeah, like, listen, I love it. I love it. You know why? Because 2025, streets are getting bodies.
Yeah. If these two teams continue on their path, which I'm expecting they will,
25-26, streets are getting bodies.
It might be time to cleanse it, because we're just sitting there doing the same thing over and over and over again. And you know what? I hate to, and I know the Heat don't tank, and the Dolphins, they definitely tank. But I mean, you know what? Maybe it's time to cleanse. Maybe if we're going to have a bad year, let's have a bad year. Let's not sit there and say, oh no, it's going to be okay. All the players.
What do you mean? No, look.
All the players.
Everything's cyclical, right? Everything is cyclical. So the Dolphins, and will probably always be the number 1 team in South Florida.
Well,
right?
Football is just giant.
Football is Giants. And the Canes.
Well, see, I'm glad you brought up the Canes.
But
look what Mario Cristobal did to make you believe. Started bringing in 4- and 5-star recruits. Started developing the offensive defensive line. He did things different, therefore different outcomes. Brought in a quarterback in Cam Ward.
Yeah, defense stunk, though.
He's brought in a new defensive coordinator.
Well, he's
good.
doing
something.
No, he's right. He realized. You see, college coaches, they don't mess
I have
around.
reason to believe in
They
Mario
don't F
Cristobal and the
around. They don't F
Hurricanes.
around. Nah, they definitely putting a lot of bodies on the street.
I have a reason to believe in the Hurricanes.
You got to go. You got to get
I
fired.
have a reason to believe in Jay Lucas and the Miami Hurricanes basketball team.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
But I have no reason to believe in the Dolphins and the Heat will make any type of changes and anything will be different.
Well, is that because you've seen years and years of no changes?
I'm worn down, yes.
Oh, you're beating. Let me tell you, this Heat season has beaten down some of the diehard loyal fans of this fan base. Like I've seen people just like, oh, like this is bad. And this is following the Miami Dolphins season. See, this is what's messed up about football and basketball. They're back to back. So if your football team is messed up and your basketball, it's like, and you already know your baseball team. Let me tell you this, South Florida, the best team has been over the last 4 years, the Florida Panthers.
I thought you were going to say Nova Southeastern's basketball team.
Florida Panthers have been the best run organization in South Florida.
Yeah, Bill Zito.
The best sign, like he's made the right signings and trade for an organization. The Florida Panthers are number one in South Florida. This is your best bet of seeing championships professionally in this town.
I'm not buying the Heat or the Dolphins, that's for sure.